Ethiopia and Kenya have agreed to work together for the development of the entire region. And from abroad, United States President Donald Trump says he will withdraw the United States from an Obama-Iran nuclear agreement with Iran. Hello viewers, these are the headlines. I'm Addis Ababa. Now the news in detail. Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed said Ethiopia and Kenya should strengthen their bilateral ties and work towards benefiting the entire region. President of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, has confirmed that the two nations are committed to work together. Soricha Kabanech has more from Akalu Bakala's report.
Afan Oromo is the identity of the Oromo people. Oromo used to express its culture, norm and values through the language. To develop Afan Oromo language, only speaking and listening is not enough, but also
Kenya's state media reported that the recent visit of Ethiopia's Prime Minister, Dr. Abiy Ahmed, had a various advantage in enhancing the long-lasting bilateral ties between two countries. The report of the media revealed that the two officials have agreed to strengthen peace, trade and diplomatic relations between the two countries. President of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, after discussing with his counterpart, Dr. Abiy Ahmed, briefed the media and stated that his government is ready to strongly work with Kenya's neighbor and Ethiopian brothers on various issues.
And strongly believe that after the conclusion of this bilateral session, we will have a lot to go out and announce to our people of how we intend to strengthen the partnership, the collaboration, and the mutual win-win position for the benefits of our two peoples.
Uhuru added that Ethiopia is the first country Kenya agreed to work cooperatively with on peace and security.
On matters economic, on matters security, Ethiopia being the first country that Kenya signed a defense pact with, a relationship that has ensured that despite the fact that we live in a turbulent region, we ourselves have never stepped aside from each other. We have always been together, and neither have we ever.
Ethiopia's Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed on his part said that the two countries have to work something new right now rather than praising history. Dr. Abiy stated that both countries' citizens are expected to nurture different values they share together.
Simply agreed to forget the simple bilateral issues, to focus on our history. Our forefathers have built a foundation which we couldn't crack, rather which you built on it.
Dr. Abiy stated that both countries' citizens are expected to nurture different values they share together.
We want to do something great, something new for both Ethiopia and Kenya, not only for both of us, also for the region. Historically, as you all know, one of the good things with Kenya, we don't have any resentment, we don't have any grudge, we have no history of war between us. We share blood, we share language, we share culture, we share so many values. We want to capitalize that. We want to nurture those great cultures and traditions for our new generation.
Sorry for the technical mistake we have made. Let's proceed to the remaining news. Head of the Oromia Culture and Tourism Bureau, Lomi Bado, said publishing many Afan Oromo books will help a lot in making Afan Oromo one of the federal working languages in Ethiopia. The Oromo Culture Center has launched newly published Afan Oromo books in the presence of several authors and distributors. Olgaba Wendemo has looked at Abata Faisa's report.
Afan Oromo is the identity of the Oromo people. Oromo used to express its culture, norm and values through the language. To develop Afan Oromo language, only speaking and listening is not enough, but also writing different articles are highly needed. Nowadays, different books are being written by using the language. Oromo Cultural Center has organized an inauguration ceremony of different books. Director General of Oromo Cultural Center, Dr. Garamu Luka, on his opening speech said, developing Afan Oromo language will benefit the Oromo people to know the world by using its own language.
Afan Oromotiin barreessuu gaafa jennu waan sadii yaaduu danda'utu nurra jiraata.
we have to think over 3 different things when we want to write in Afaan Oromo. The first one is to develop the language. We have to use the language for writing. When we write in Afaan Oromo, the Oromo people can easily understand us, what we try to convey in our material.
Head of Oromia Culture and Tourism Bureau, Lomi Badho Forepa, said it is very important to develop the culture of writing different literature and history books by using the language. Folklore is very crucial for one society. It will develop Afaan Oromo as well. So we all have to contribute our fair share in developing the language, she said. Lomi added that writing materials in the language will benefit the society in order to make the language the federal working language. Different scholars of Afaan Oromo language in Oromo Cultural Center also said the book contains everything about Oromo people, so everyone should contribute at its level base regarding development of the language.
Head of the Oromia Culture and Tourism Bureau, Lomi Badho, called on authors to publish as many Afaan Oromo books as possible and distributors to play their part in accessing the books to the public. Reading Week has been launched with a ceremony organized at Oromo Culture Center in Finfinne City. Fukad Brano has more from Abata Faisal's report.
Afaan Oromo has been serving the Oromo people as the region's working language, being used as medium for science and technology as well as instructional too in education. Different books written by Afaan Oromo can play a great role in the development of the language. While authors wrote different books, people should use their books to develop their knowledge. Therefore, it is very important developing culture of reading books. Reading Week, which stays from May 8 to 13, has opened at Oromo Cultural Center. Authors and sellers of books have participated on the occasion. Some authors said even though different books have been writing, there is a great problem regarding selling and reading.
I've written 23 books. Some of them are translation. Nowadays, there is no problem of distribution, but our reading culture is still at a low level.
They added that all stakeholders should give attention to improve the problem from its grassroots. Director General of Oromo Cultural Center, Dr. Garamo Hulluka, for his part, underscores that follies should play their level best in distributing books.
Only writing a book is not a goal by itself. Books should be distributed to the people. To do so, there should be distributors. I call them follies and the youth to participate in this process in order to serve themselves and the people.
Head of the Oromia Culture and Tourism Bureau, Lomi Badho, suggested that Oromo authors should play their level best in writing and distributing books.
Our scholars should contribute their citizenship obligation in writing and distributing books for our people.
The Continental Council on Access to Justice for Children in Africa has kicked off at Economic Commission for Africa headquarters in Finfinne City. Mukhtar Haji reports.
The Continental Conference on Access to Justice for Children in Africa has prepared by African Children Policy Forum and Defense for Children International jointly at Economic Commission for Africa in Finfinne City. On the conference, policymakers of different states, representatives and stakeholders have been taking part. Different research papers have been presented to the participants and challenges against children such as lack of access to justice, gender inequalities and children trafficking were raised as main drawbacks. Dr. Asefa Bekele, Director of African Children Policy Forum, said children in Africa need to enjoy access to justice.
We're here to address a very important issue, the issue of child justice. Now, this is a very important issue for a number of reasons. And in a way, it is also related to evolving changes.
Dr. Nikota Murungi is head of African Children Policy Forum Children's Affairs and Justice Program, said lack of access to justice for children in Africa would challenge the life of African children.
Another strong premise worthy of note in this respect is that access to justice, which is the theme that we are here to have a conversation and make plans about, is obviously a human right. It's a children's right. But it's also what makes other human rights absolutely critical and a reality.
Alexi Camarato, head of Defense for Children International, said unless access to justice for children would be recognized in Africa, it is impossible to ensure children's human rights. On the conference, it has been said that states should work to realize access to justice for children through implementing sound policies and laws in Africa.
news comes to you from OBN. Let's proceed the news that we have got from abroad. United States President Donald Trump says he will withdraw the United States from an Obama-Iran nuclear deal agreement with Iran, calling it decaying and rotten. Donald Trump said the deal was an embarrassment to him as citizen. Going against advice from European allies, he said he would reimpose economic sanctions that were waived when the deal was signed in 2015. In response, Iran said it was preparing to restart uranium enrichment, key for making both nuclear energy and weapons. Iran's President Hassan Rouhani said the United States has announced that it doesn't respect its commitments. The United Treasury said economic sanctions would not be reimposed on Iran immediately, but would be subject to 90-day and 180-day wind-down periods, BBC reported. That brings us to the end for the edition. Thank you for watching and have a nice time with the remaining OBN Voice for the People's programs.